What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again to talk about the greatest college football team of all time, my Alabama Crimson Tide, and the greatest college football coach of all time, the great one, Nick Saban, who met with the media this morning for his first press conference of the week. He spoke on several things, including the win versus Ole Miss last week. He spoke about player performance and the upcoming game we got this week against Mississippi State. So let me get into what he said first. I'm going to talk about what he said about the win against Ole Miss this past weekend. He says the Ole Miss win was great, which in my opinion, it was, considering how we played in the second half versus how we've been playing, throughout the rest of the season outside of the Middle Tennessee game. We lost against Texas, which in my opinion, we still had chances to win that game. And then on top of that, we struggled against South Florida. And we came out and struggled in the first half against Ole Miss. But the second half, we put it together. And yes, in my opinion, it was a great win. Some people may want to downgrade it because it was Ole Miss. And I will continue to tell you, Ole Miss was the number 15th ranked team in the nation. And right now, they are still in the top 25 at number 20. Okay, they do have one of the best offenses, or scoring offenses, in all of college football. Still, after they only scored 10 points against my Alabama Crimson Tide. So yes, it was a great win for Alabama. Say what you will, everybody has their own opinion. All right. He goes on to say the Crimson Tide improved in the second half of that game, and says he wants to show the players why it worked or didn't work throughout the game, or what worked and didn't work throughout the game. All right. Second half, dominant defense. Hey, we really played dominant defense throughout the whole game, except on a couple of Ole Miss drives. But other than that, everything was lovely on defense. Second half, the offense, they showed up and showed out. Offensive line showed up and showed out in the second half. All right, we gave up 4 sacks, which we gotta fix that. We gave up 4 sacks in the first half, 0 in the second half. We rotated players, which I like to see along the offensive line. All right. He also talked about player performance, as I mentioned, and I'm going to get to that. But all in all, the performance was great by the offense in the second half. We just need to put that together for a whole entire game. Okay. Defense. I don't have no problems with the defense. Only issues I had with the defense was in the Texas game. That is it. That is it. Well, no, I can't say that. South Florida, because we wasn't getting pressure on the daggone quarterbacks. Okay, but we still got a lot of things to clean up, a lot of things to work on. We got to mitigate sacks. When it gave up too many, 16 over 4 games. That's an average of 4 sacks a game. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. But we talked about it. Receivers are great, doing great things. But I'm gonna get to that. All right. Then he talked about. He mentioned Tyrion Arnold. Says Tyrion Arnold has improved at corner this season. He knows the defense better, which leads to him playing faster and more confident. This past week, Tyrion Arnold once again showed up and showed out. He was shut down against Ole Miss. Okay, and y'all know corner is not Tyrion Arnold's original position coming out of high school. He was a safety, so he had to learn the corner position, and he started that last season when he was a freshman. Remember, he was a freshman last year. This is only his second year playing corner, so he's improving. He's looking at film. He's in the playbook, still learning. So hey, and he's doing a damn good job. Yeah, he done had some hiccups, especially against Texas. Yeah, he was getting got a couple of pass interferences, and he done got beat on a couple of times, but yet he's still learning, and guess what? He is improving. And I'm expecting him to improve a lot more throughout the season. as you notice, teams like to pick on Tyrion Arnold and stay away from Kool-Aid McKinstry. Once again, y'all already know who Kool-Aid McKinstry is, and he's shut down. So I'm glad that Nick Saban is noticing what Tyrion Arnold is doing. Also, he mentioned Terrence Ferguson and Elijah Pritchard, two other guys who was rotating along the offensive line. He said they did okay when given the chance to play at the offensive line, on the offensive line against Ole Miss. Hey, put them guys in, rotate them guys, let them guys get some real game time experience, which Elijah Pritchard, he already had it at left tackle last season. And Terrence Ferguson, hey, put him in there. Put him in there. You know, he's I believe he's switching out at that guard position with Darian Dalcourt. So, hey, put those guys in there and let those guys get game experience in case one of those guys along the offensive line getting hurt. I would like to see more guys rotate in and out. Some of those big offensive linemen, some of those freshmen. But, hey, I guess that'll happen in garbage time or whatever of some of these other games. But anyway, I'm glad to see that we are rotating along that offensive line. So I believe we rotated 4 other guys with the starters this past weekend. So I'm glad to see that. And I'm glad to see that Nick Saban is giving these guys a chance and he's noticing the effort that they are giving. All right. He praised Jalen Hale. He says Jalen Hale says the Tide needs to work with the freshman to get him playing with more confidence and understanding. Jalen Hale came up big for us this week. This is really his first game, really seeing a significant amount of playing time, and he showed that he can separate from the defenders. All right. Caught a long touchdown pass in the end. Caught a long touchdown pass. I believe it was about 49 yards or something like that. But yeah, man, he caught another pass. He had 2 catches for about 65 yards, I believe. But he showed that he can separate from the receiver, and he showed that he can come up big if need be. All right. Jermaine Burton. I love myself some Jermaine Burton. I am not getting off the Jermaine Burton bandwagon. I will not do it. Jermaine Burton has been showing up this season. Jermaine Burton should have 2 other touchdowns. I can tell you that. But, hey, it is what it is. We just got to clean up them penalties. But I ain't getting into all that. I just want to talk about the guys that Nick Saban talked about. But, yeah, Jalen Hale, he impressed me this past week. All right. He also talked about linebackers, Jaheed Campbell and Tresman Marshall. You know, Deontay Lawson went down. Tresman Marshall, he played along at that middle linebacker with alongside Deontay Lawson. But Deontay Lawson went down with a sprained ankle. And Jaheed Campbell came in and picked up right where Tresman Marshall left off. All right. Not Tresman Marshall, but picked up right where Deontay Lawson led off. Jaheed Campbell came in as a backup and totaled 7 solo tackles. So great job from Jaheed Campbell. And yes, Nick Saban noticed that too. So hopefully Jaheed Campbell can get more playing time. I know a lot of guys, they was high on Jaheed Campbell coming into this season. I think it's Jahad Campbell. But hey, you know who I'm talking about. So I'm glad to see that Jahad got some playing time. And I'm glad to see that once another one showed up and showed out when his number was called. All right. So those are that's what he said about the game last week against Ole Miss. And those are the guys that he mentioned, that he was impressed with from the Ole Miss win. All right. I'm sure he was impressed with the whole team. But those are the guys that he mentioned by name: Tyrion Arnold, Terrence Ferguson, Elijah Pritchard, Jalen Hale, Jaheed Campbell, and Tresman Marshall. All right. He also mentioned the Mississippi State game. All right. He says that this game could be a bigger challenge for the Tide than the last 2 games, which was South Florida and Ole Miss. He says, talked about how physical Mississippi State is, and praises Mississippi State players and coaches, and says that Mississippi State is more balanced than what they was in years past on offense, which they are. They run more of a balanced attack. They don't run the air raid anymore. The scheme, offensive scheme that the late Mike Leach brought to Mississippi State. They got away from that, and they running a more balanced attack. All right, I know they done lost 2 games, but guess what? This is another SEC West matchup, and yes, it's going to present a challenge to my Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, it's a SEC matchup. Okay, that's all I gotta say. So you gotta win. We gotta win this game. All right, it is what it is. If we right now, all I can say, 1 and done for Alabama. We cannot lose another game. It's do or die for the rest of the season if we want to see the playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, this Mississippi State team, yeah, they might not have as much talent as Alabama. All right, they might not have these big names on the coaching staff, but guess what? They want to win too, and they are coming out to win. All right, and really going into Mississippi State, going to wherever they ain't, I don't forgot what it is. Starkville, going to Starkville. Hey, the cowbells are going to be ringing, so we're going to have to fight through all of that. All right, so it is what it is. I expect Alabama to come out with the win, but hey, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we won't go into this game and struggle. Hopefully, we can play a complete 4 quarters and show that we done build off the second half of this Ole Miss game. So hopefully, all of that would happen. So, but that's basically what Nick Saban talked about this morning. He went on to talk about Mike Leach, but I'm not going to get into all that. But yeah, that's basically what he talked about this morning. So, hey, let's all look forward to the game next week. All right. So, what else did he? Oh, he also mentioned the red zone. Well, we had it 1st and goal at the 1 yard line when the defense or the special teams blocked the field goal. 1st and goal at the 1 yard line. Got Jalen Milroe in shotgun with it, which I was wondering why when he lined up in shotgun. I asked the question when I was like, why the hell is he in shotgun? Bad snap, whatever. We went on to lose 22 yards on that series. Had to kick a field goal, but Saban said, Tide have given a lot of thought. Well, Saban says the Tide has given a lot of thought about whether it should have just run the quarterback sneak during the goal line offensive sequence against Ole Miss. Said execution needed to be better. You damn right it need to be better. And yes, you should have just went under center and quarterback sneak. So hopefully Alabama has and Tommy Rees have learned from their mistakes. Next time this happens, just get under center, quarterback sneak. You got the quarterback to do it with. Plain and simple. That's too easy. And we ain't got to put a lot of thought in that. He also mentioned Dallas Turner. He says Dallas Turner, he worked hard in practice and he's a good leader. And yes, he is a good leader. And Dallas Turner had a great game against Ole Miss. He had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and he was also pressuring the quarterback. All right, and it looked good doing it. So Dallas Turner has busted through the daggone door. So hopefully he builds off of that performance and keep it up throughout the rest of the season, because we are going to need it. We're going to need that type of effort from Dallas Turner and the rest of the defense. Hell, the offense too. But anyway, he says affecting the quarterback is more important than sacks in his eyes. That's what Nick Saban said. Affecting the quarterback is more important than sacks in his eyes. Because guess what? If you affect the quarterback, his throws are going to be off. And guess what? That's going to make the quarterback make mistakes. Facts. Throwing interception, taking sacks he shouldn't take, all of that. So, hey, hopefully we can keep this up. And and Dallas Turner, it's your job. You and Chris Braswell, Kendrick Blackshaw, now Jahad Campbell and Tresman Marshall. Hey, baby, let's get it. Let's get it. So, hey, I loved everything Nick Saban said. So it is what it is. I almost forgot that about the quarterback sneak and Dallas Turner. But those are the guys, once again, Dallas Turner, Jahid Campbell, Tresman Marshall, Tyrion Arnold, Elijah Pritchett. Those are the guys he mentioned, and Terrence Ferguson. So, and true freshman, Jalen Hale. So, okay. But let's hopefully, let's just build off of this performance from last week and keep it going. Keep it going, because if we can keep this going, we're going to be hard to beat. And I'm going to leave it at that. Roll damn Tide.